What the fuck is up, guys? I'm Khalid and I'm back. I'm back from my vacation and I feel fucking fantastic.
That's great. I'm Abdul, and today we have two guests. We have Jack sitting on the right, to my right, staring at both of us, and we have Alexander.
Hello, world.
Give us a little background on yourself, Alexander. Who are you? What do you do?
Little background.
What are you doing here?
On Alex?
Introduce Jag first, actually.
All right. Well, Jag. That's definitely where we should start. Jag is roughly 3 years old. Household tabby. I would say he's, yellowish tan in coloration. Sometimes look a little whiter than you'd think he would look. He has the brain of roughly the size of the walnut, and he's allergic to poultry. Ladies, line up.
He can't eat chicken. He eats overpriced diet food.
Oh, just a
wow.
Like the needy piece of shit he is.
Jeez.
Yeah. It's all right.
Completely self-aware.
What a spoiled cat.
Now, if you avoid looking at his right lazy eye, he's really a bachelor.
Strike Tech idea. We
True.
should have The Bachelor for cats.
The cat bachelor?
Yeah.
Catchler.
Catchler.
$1 million idea.
Bachelor.
$1 million idea.
$1 million.
Million.
Well,
million and million and million.
Well, I'm Abdul's roommate and friend since college.
Acquaintance.
Yeah.
At
I
best.
grew on him. I was like a fungus, like a like a good mushroom, like shiitake, something you'd pay more than bulk price for at the grocery store.
Oh, so you're not just like white button.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay.
This isn't a Baby Bella moment. This is the real deal.
A nice truffle.
And actually, I think come about a week and a half from now, we'll live together for 3 years. We were talking about this last night. So I've been in and around the mind of the Abdul, and therefore the mind of the Khalid as well, for quite some time.
He's gained way too much insight. It's a little concerning at this point.
Also, can we just open up with the naming convention for the show? I mean, it has to be talked about at some point in time.
Sure, let's have this conversation. It was gonna have to happen.
It was gonna have to happen. I would just like to say that there's evidence on our phones, on Snapchat, in fact, that this was a naming convention that was thought of last time Khalid was in Buffalo.
Which was 2
years ago?
A year and a half ago.
2 years ago?
A year and a half ago. January 2018.
Was it 18?
All I know is out of town for
he was like
work.
a year and a half ago.
Yeah, that was January 18 because it was my birthday last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was in the city for most of it, but for some reason we managed to make a Snap group called Two Browns Make a White. And that is really how the ball started rolling. So I would just like to say that when this show blows the fuck up, I want to be on the forefront with some sort of copyright on that at a minimum. So
What is this? You want like 5% or something?
We'll give you 10% of the $10 we'll make once we hit 1,000 book viewers.
do I have to share 10% of the expenses as well? Like, is this a partnership or is this I'm just purely reaping benefit? Because I'm okay with the latter. Like,
I think it's gonna be a partnership here.
all right, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
All right, I can at least get behind that idea.
I'll get you in contact with that lawyer. She'll take care of it.
You heard it.
In
You heard it here, folks.
in America.
You
in
heard it
America,
here,
we can get
folks.
that taken care of.
Oh, yeah. So, I was talking to my lawyer yesterday, and she does this thing over the fucking phone. We had like a whole meeting, and she was like, every other sentence, she'd be like, "In America, this is how we do things." And it's just like, fucking excuse me.
Who, your lawyer?
It's like, in America, yeah. She's like, in America, we do this and this. It's like, I fucking know that.
Also, I don't want to reach here, but like, she lives in Alaska. If anything, you live more in America than she does. Like, what?
She lives in Russia, basically.
She's more Russian, yeah. She's more Russian than anything.
She's Canadian-Russian hybrid.
Yeah.
So just real good at hockey. Just real good.
In America, this is how we do things. I learned so much. I learned the American way yesterday over the phone. It was a real cultural experience.
Wow.
Cultural phenomenon.
Oh yeah. Okay. So, the story you need to tell Khalid 5 minutes ago.
What was the story I needed to tell Khalid 5 minutes ago?
I don't know. Everyone started going off.
Something.
And we were like, let's pause for
Something
5
about
minutes
you
until-
being on your bed, being plastered or something.
Oh, okay. So, wow. All right. Good show, Khalid. Good recollection there. So,
You're welcome.
We were all just talking about how we critique the software now. Like grandmothers would critique back in my day kind of things. Milk was brought in glass bottles. We say like Oh,
The
wow.
milkman used to show up to my house every morning.
This software is bad is basically what we're going to be complaining about later on in life. But the other day I get home and I'm laying in bed and I'm just, we had been out, I don't know for how long, but it was a long night. And I'm looking through Google Tasks, which is already a bottom tier Google platformed application. That's Jag jumping off the table. He's loud. And
He's fat.
on mobile, you can't like drag and move your tasks around. Like there's no ability to just like grab and shift things and the dates automatically move. But on desktop there is. So I wrote them a use case, like a software use case, like I would write at work for the rationale that they should fix their mobile application. And I was like, here's the benefit, here's the user story, here's the pain point, here's my hours estimation, here's the scope, like
Jesus Christ.
I spent probably 30 minutes writing this thing out, and I should have saved it somewhere, but I didn't, and I shipped it. And we still have yet to see the improvement be made, so I'm just waiting on it. But I'm gonna be using tasks until and then
Until it comes out.
and the crazier thing too is at the bottom I even wrote them like a little inspirational passage. Like, listen, like I know it doesn't feel like you come into work every day, but you're doing God's work right now. I use this shit all the time.
Google Tasks.
Google
God's
Google Tasks is God's
Google
work.
Tasks.
Jesus Christ.
Yo,
So anyway.
download. There's a cool app I use. It's called Sorted 3. Download that app. It's pretty good. It's like a
been trying to get more
Taskmaster
of that.
thing, but it's pretty good. I like it because it syncs up with your calendar too. So like you have events and you have tasks all synced up in there. So it's pretty neat.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I've been trying to get more into some third-party apps because I've been pretty much down
Do you have
Google.
Do you have an iPhone or an Android?
I have a Pixel.
I don't
We're
think.
very
I think
Google-oriented
Sorted
now.
is on iOS only. They haven't.
And that's
ported
my
it.
thing. Like, I need
So-
something that works seamless on desktop and on mobile together because I do so much tasking and calendaring. And the reason why I've gone with Google for so long is because my like OG years of doing this were always just through Gmail at work, and the best way to segment a desktop would be Google to Google and all
Yeah.
those kind of things.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's completely iOS.
I shifted around like so many applications in the past, but this one is the best one so far. They have it on iPad, iPhones, and they're working on a Mac version. So we'll see when that
Are they our
comes out.
paid sponsor for this episode?
I wish.
We'll reach out
Hey,
to them and ask them for
Sorted.
money.
Honestly, you guys
Sorted.
should start the
We're
Twitter
giving
war.
a plug here, okay?
Start the Twitter. Just start shit with people.
No, not Twitter war. I mean, you could do that for the publicity side. Like, that's pretty much how anyone gets famous, it feels like now. But I'm talking like more from the sponsorship side. Like, if I got a call from Khalid that was like, listen, we have this podcast. It is in multiple countries already. You guys might be able to get some shoes out of it or something. I mean, nobody sees your feet on a podcast, so I don't know how that's gonna work. But
I'm sure you have to like
I have a
share
camera
with
set on my feet. I'll
advertisers like
100%
some
do that.
numbers. I'm sure you have to like
I
share
mean-
with advertisers like, oh, how many numbers are you getting here? Like rough numbers, but not like actual numbers. But I'm
yeah,
sure.
like clicks and stuff.
Well, here's
I'm
our
sure they want some
percentage.
information like that.
We'll just give them percentages without the actual numbers.
Like per capita statements.
Yeah. Like, I'm sorry, if you can fucking be a fake lawyer, we can fake like podcast numbers.
That's fair. I respect that.
Who's a fake lawyer?
It's apparently a thing where people fake being lawyers.
Oh wow. In Miami,
So-
it's a thing to fake being a doctor.
See, there you go.
That's in Miami
You can
though.
fake how to save people's lives. I can fake a number to get Wendy's to sponsor me for chicken nuggets.
Dude, I watched a documentary on baseball steroids called Screwball, and basically it's like the fucking Tony Bosch. It's about A-Rod and Tony Bosch and how like he faked his way to like how Tony Bosch like faked his way, quote unquote, to become like an engineering like he opened up like an aging clinic, and basically he was giving steroids to everybody. He was like the steroids master. Like A-Rod was getting his treatment there. All the baseball players were getting their treatments there. It was ridiculous.
Baseball confuses me because it's like all of these men that do not look athletic and sign 10-year contracts and make hundreds of millions of dollars.
Well, some of them, listen, okay, so I get the athleticism part of the baseball scheme, especially because, like, if you're a pitcher and you still got it and you're a big dude, like, you're not going to hang it up. You're going to be making your bills until they kick you. If I was a baseball player, I would literally wait until they put me in a wheelbarrow and took me off the field, I would be earning bills. I don't even care. But like some of these young guys now, like the Mike Trouts and like I'm not a big baseball follower, but some of these dudes they're like the Tiger Woods of baseball now. Like that these guys are getting more. Every sport is just getting so much more athletically inclined. Like as we push the limits of these things.
You notice like even with other sports, like people, the longevity of athletes lately has been increasing a lot. Like even in football, like normal football, not American football, normal football. Like people have you have players playing till their late 30s, which is not normal. It wasn't normal back then. Like 10 years ago, people would retire mid 30s, early 30s. But now you have like some
32 was like the death age. Remember that? Like 30, you get to 32 and like Maldini was gone. Like remember that AC Milan team? Because I know you're just a Milan, dude. And that's my team.
That's my team. Like, that's my fucking team. Dude, I was at the San Siro last week.
I know.
This week.
I saw that. I was like, what the hell is going on? But like, you're right. Like Gattuso was 32.
Oh my god, dude. Inzaghi. Even the center back. Inzaghi retired late, kinda. But he had so many fucking injuries. That guy tore every fucking muscle in his knee.
You either do that though, or you like the other thing is like you do the Del Piero. So like you hit that age, and then you're like, you know what? I'm just gonna go roll in dollar bills in China for a few years, then roll in dollar bills in the U.S. for a few years, and then you become a coach somewhere and roll in bills more.
Dude,
that guy's a genius.
Raul used to play for Madrid, and then he just basically like came here, like in Qatar, to play here for the money.
Yeah,
remember taking a picture with him?
Yeah.
We both took a picture with him.
You've told me you met Raul.
Yeah, he came to the museum where we were working, and he brought his like tiny ass son and just like walked around with him.
And he had a cannon of left foot. I mean, a cannon,
dude.
But like, that Milanese team growing up was like so ridiculously unreal. Shevchenko,
dude, Van Basten.
I have not heard that name in so long.
Unbelievable.
Dude.
Davids, even a little bit before that.
Seedorf, Maldini, Nesta.
And then he coached, And that was like Buffon's prime. Yeah. That was like 24-year-old, like, I don't give a shit kind of Buffon. He played,
he's still playing. He's old as fuck. If you look at his face, dude.
Who the fuck does he play for?
He looks old.
I don't know where he plays anymore.
He's aged.
Where does he play?
Right now in PSG.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's right. And you know what's funny is like PSG is the king of picking up those like old Italian goalies, like Sirigu. He wasn't too old, but
Sirigu wasn't that good though. Like Buffon, Buffon is a legend. Buffon is a legend.
He's a legend. And but like even the other guy who did it great, and I loved him. This was like my guy growing up from AC Milan was Pirlo. Like, he was so smart.
Pirlo and Kaká were like my all-time favorites.
And he recognized Pirlo. What was genius about Pirlo, and Kaká actually did the exact same thing. You're right. They both recognized when they slowed down and went to the States.
Kaká's career though, like fucking died when he went to Madrid. He just fucking died. Like that place. That place is a graveyard for superstars, except Ronaldo apparently.
Orlando City.
Yeah, so Kaká went to Orlando City, but to your point, like that these guys were smart enough to recognize like and Pirlo was never blistering speed ever. But like they realized when they hit that early 30 age, like I'm going to get out and go play in the States where they can play me at basically the number 10, or for Pirlo's case, a little bit dropped back version of the number 10, a little bit more forward facing for Kaká. And I'm just going to feed people balls and get like top 3 assist leader of the season every year and make buku bucks because the U.S. never put salary limits on the MLS, so it's really just all supply and demand. And Ibrahimovic figured it out too.
Yeah, Ibrahimovic is the MLS right now. Ibrahimovic is the MLS.
He is the MLS.
He even said it in an interview.
Is God.
It was hilarious.
He's so
when
funny.
He did that.
I still want to read his book.
Oh my god, I can't even imagine.
I need to read this book. I cannot imagine how fucking narcissistic and self-involved it would be.
I would love every minute.
I would love it, dude. I would love it.
I would love it. Ibra.
Is it even written in English?
You can't even hate on Ibra. He's like a self-made legend.
He talked he is unbelievably talented.
Yeah.
But he also talked himself into the limelight a little bit too. But
to
definitely. Begin with, he could. That's the one thing I like about Ibra. So let's like compare Ibra to like I would consider like the modern era like Ball family for the Los Angeles Lakers and UCLA. Like, is Lonzo Ball a good player? Yeah. Will he probably be pretty good someday in the NBA? Sure. But he is not like legend. Ibra had so much to back it up with that like he could talk shit and it wouldn't matter because he was so good.
Exactly.
That you were like, he could get away with anything.
Dude, the goals he scored, most of his goals that he scored were all legendary. Like,
right.
He's an impressive player.
And I'm not saying Lonzo is like a shit talking kind of player, but I'm just saying like the whole ideology that somebody basically becomes popularized through media and their voice at this point. But like, Ibra,
I would
Ibra
probably
was
compare
before
LeBron
that, you know?
James to Ibrahimovic because LeBron James has that attitude too.
Yeah, but Ibra is like, Ibra for me, like he almost has a little bit of like, he doesn't have like, he's got the Russell Westbrook kind of thing going on with like the media. Like he's not like, he's self-absorbed and stuff like that, but he also like doesn't like to like be bothered by the media for like BS reasons. But then on top of that, he's like, he's not like, he's not, I don't want to say he's not intelligent like LeBron, but LeBron like controls the narrative. Like LeBron like basically makes his own brand every time he speaks, whereas Ibra like he's had his own brand since he was 21 and it's not changing anytime soon. He's
but Ibra's brand is well known, so he doesn't even need to do anything to it.
100%.
So that's why he doesn't need to do that. I feel like LeBron, he has to win fans because like every team he goes to, he has enemies. He makes enemies. Like Ibrahimovic, every team he goes to, he makes more fans instead. Like he has more fans than
but
like
LeBron also's got like probably 3 times the money or some ridiculous amount more.
Yeah, because there's a cap. There's a cap in football and there's not a cap in, I think, most American sports.
Well, I mean, Ronaldo and Messi are worth way more than LeBron, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think Cristiano is the most paid athlete, or Messi is something like that. I don't remember who it is, but in general, there's a cap in football because Europeans are like that.
Although, like, you also have to, and the funny thing is though, like, for both of their salaries, like, basketball is actually the sport that has the cap on salaries. There's a salary cap in basketball, there's not a salary cap in soccer, which is crazy. So LeBron is keeping up with these guys just on endorsement. Like, that's freaking wild, dude. It's absolutely wild.
Wait, actually, the highest earning basketball player is Steph Curry at 76.9
for his
million.
contract.
No,
yes,
earnings.
For his
salary and endorsements.
More than LeBron.
Who's the most? Who's the highest earning athlete in general?
Floyd Mayweather.
Really? Oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
$285 million. That
makes a lot of sense.
He only made $10 million in endorsements, $275 million in like purse.
Jesus.
Second is Lionel Messi.
Oh yeah, there we go. Messi is.
Lionel Messi, Ronaldo at 108, McGregor at 99, Neymar. Oh, sorry, LeBron James is 8th at 6. I missed him. LeBron James is at 85 million, and then Federer is at 77.
Oh, God bless Roger Federer.
And then Curry's at 76.9.
Dude, speaking of Messi, dude, like when we went to the Camp Nou last weekend. Oh my God, the atmosphere there was insane, dude. Like
I can imagine.
Oh, it was.
That game?
Huh?
How was that game?
Dude, the game was incredible. Like being there was incredible. Every time Messi touches the ball, even though he didn't play very well, but because he had like 3 players targeting him, but every time he touches the ball, it's like it's so different, man. When you see it on TV, like you know he's good, but when you see it in real life, you're like, holy fuck, he's really good. Like he feels so light on his feet. It's like magic. It's like an illusion in your eyes. You're like, what the fuck am I looking at there? It's incredible.
I don't know how he's that fucking good, like in comparison to like literally everyone else.
Dude, he's
like,
so good, dude. It's ridiculous how good he is.
So
like, I didn't think he was that good until I saw him live. I'm like, okay, now I get it. Now I get it. I really get it. He's fucking good.
Apparently, Beckham's got more money than Messi.
Well,
but
Beckham,
he's no longer an athlete. Like this is more just business.
He has a lot of businesses.
We were talking about intake rather than total net worth, right? Because total net worth, Cristiano Ronaldo is more than both of them.
Oh, I'm talking about earnings as of 2018.
Oh, I'm looking at net worth. You know Schumacher's number 3?
I mean, it makes a lot of sense. He's been racing for the past like 20 years.
800 million that cannot basically be utilized because he's
fucking in a coma.
Yeah, he's a veggie.
He's slowly coming out of
like
it.
Like thoughts and prayers, you know, whole kind of BS,
thoughts, yeah.
but thoughts in our case, you know. Yeah,
His-
like
his son is
if
racing
you're not
now.
religious, do you just had thoughts? Question mark.
His son is racing now.
Yeah, Mick Schumacher. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people being like, the only reason he's in there is because of his fucking last name.
Yeah.
People are shitting on the kid.
Is he bad?
See, that's such bullshit. Like,
He's-
give the kid a chance at least. I mean, if he sucks, you'll
I
find
mean,
out.
He's
his
in
dad
testing. He's
has
not doing
such a
anything
huge
impressive.
legacy, and he has so much pressure probably to perform.
Yeah, the bar is really, really fucking high,
Yeah.
but he hasn't performed at any level that people should give a shit about.
What is he in Formula 2 right now?
I think he was just doing testing. He was doing
Oh,
testing
he's doing
for someone
testing for Ferrari?
and stuff. Who the fuck is he racing for? Formula 2. He's in Formula 2 with Prima Theodore Racing, whatever the fuck that is. It's affiliated with the Ferrari Driver Academy.
Okay.
He's only 20.
He's young.
Yeah, no, he's only 20.
But
He's
wait,
doing,
isn't Leclerc like 19 or some shit?
Yeah, he's a child. He's
Yeah.
he's the godson
Dude,
of the last Formula 1 driver to die in like 2015.
Dude, like
super
Leclerc
rich
is a
fuck.
legend though. Like not a legend, but Leclerc is a beast. He's fucking good. He's actually really good. Like I didn't know he was that good because last year he was with Toro Rosso, right?
Yeah, he was in a shitty car.
Yeah, he was in
He's
a
in a
really
really-
shitty
he
car.
was
Like
with Alpha.
you don't realize how
Yeah.
like how,
Was
how
it
much
Alpha?
pushback
Yeah, his
he's
buddy
getting.
was with Toro Rosso.
Oh, okay. Jules?
No. Leclerc was with Alfa Romeo. His
Yeah.
buddy. What's the other young kid who was for Toro Rosso? They're friends.
I know. I
No,
cannot
his
think
friend
of
wasn't in
his
Toro
name.
Rosso. His friend was in another team. I think his friend was in Renault. Who's the other driver? Not Carlos
Is it
Sainz.
Ocon? No, Ocon is not.
No. It's
Not
not
Ocon?
Ocon. It's
Oh, the Williams driver. Williams?
No, I'm pretty sure
Not
he was
George
Toro
Russell.
Rosso. I know for a fact Leclerc was
He was in Alfa Romeo.
Alpha because
Yeah.
him and Kimi essentially swapped seats.
Yeah.
If you think of it that way.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
his buddy, who's the other young gun who's really good, and he was racing for Toro Rosso, and he was, I think, trying to get one of the Red Bull seats at the same time.
Sorokin?
I'd have to see the kid's face.
Sergey Sorokin?
Sorokin. Yeah.
Who's
Yeah,
who's
he was
in
with
Red Bull
Williams.
right
I
now?
don't
It's
know
Max
who's
and
with
who's the
right
other guy?
So it's Pierre Gasly.
Oh, is it?
Gasly's-
Yeah, I think Pierre was friends with Leclerc,
I don't know, but
or was he friends with Nikki?
Khalid's right.
Nikki.
It's
Is it
Gasly.
Gasly?
It's Gasly. So
Gasly's 23.
yes. So him and Gasly both got promoted together because Gasly was on Toro Rosso last year.
Yeah, that's their like farm.
Right.
team, essentially.
So that's kind of what happened is like both of them went up into major cars at the same time.
Yeah.
Which is kind of awesome.
But
Yeah,
Renault
Red
is
Bull's
not
still-
that
Red
great
Bull's
though,
still
man.
alright.
Renault's such a disappointment. Like I feel so bad for Daniel Ricciardo. He could be
Oh,
so
for that
much better
move.
than that. It's still bad.
But
This is
Ricciardo
dude.
chose
dude.
to leave.
Dude, this
He
is
needed
the
to leave 'cause they
this
were
is the
putting
fifth
all their
episode.
weight behind Verstappen.
Dude, this is the fifth episode where I bitch and moan about this. That's how much like I'm fucking annoyed by this move.
All
Yeah,
I
this
can
is-
say
this
is
is
that
actually
I
true.
get that they were putting weight behind Verstappen, but here at the end of the day, like if you wanted to win, if you want to win, you don't have a chance at winning with Renault.
I mean,
you don't.
No,
three
you
different
don't.
Things. The weight was completely behind Verstappen at Red Bull, and that actually makes a huge difference.
Sure, but
And then
are you
the
saying
second
that the
thing is-
Red Bull 2 car is worse than the Renault 1 car?
The second
Yeah.
thing is, Red Bull was starting to buy a Honda engine that had a horrible history for the
Okay,
5 years
I
before
get the
that.
Honda engine thing, but you're also looking at incredible incompetency from Renault for the past bunch of years.
More competent than the Honda engine's history for the past couple of years, though. Like, Renault has a much better track record over the past
All I
decade.
can say is like, how could Daniel Ricciardo not get something better?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
You're coming out of a Red Bull car and you go to Renault. Why wouldn't you just wait a year in Red Bull to see if something else? I mean, the problem is that Ferrari's pretty much locked down for another year or two.
Ferrari doesn't change their lineup a lot. Mercedes has zero
No.
reason to change it for years.
Years.
to
For
come.
years, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
And that's
those
the
are
thing,
the
like,
two
you
best
were in
teams
the
out
best
there.
Car then.
Those
And I get
are
that
the best
Honda
two
is
teams.
coming along. I get that Honda's coming along, but like you were in the third best team and it's by a margin.
I know, like he's getting the money he wants. He's getting away from the Honda engine.
Well, then
and
I
he makes sure
I
that
don't
he's the
feel
number
bad
one
that he's
priority.
losing then. I don't feel bad for him then.
People make moves like that all the time. Either like he He thought it was the best move for him. Maybe he should have stayed, but I don't see any.
That's a
world
tough
where he could have gone
50-50
anywhere
call.
else.
Yeah, like I get that that's a
Yeah.
tough 50-50 call, but like at the end of the day, like you chose Bills and being the number one guy over potentially being in a better car. Like, and you know what? That is a choice that, like, that's why I don't feel bad if he doesn't have as much success.
But I see the logic of like the devil you know is better than the one you don't with the Renault engine, because he's been racing with a Renault engine. He knows that engine. He's gone with it the past couple of years. They were going to bring in an engine that has failed miserably.
But
The thing
they
is,
have
the
but
Renault
they have
engine
like a
was shit
horrible
already. Like,
Not
but
as
they have,
bad as
like-
the Honda ones.
dude. But they have a horrible track record, like with Red Bull. Like the amount of times he complained about that engine is ridiculous.
No, I know, but look at fucking McLaren with the Honda when it was using it. And look at the years after that. Like, Honda is... I understand the Renault engine is not reliable. I really do.
But now
all
they're
I can
giving
say,
them
Abdul,
full
is
control.
Maybe this is
though.
more to do with McLaren's incompetence than anyone else's.
And people thought that, but then McLaren moved away from Honda, and Honda was, like, doing it for some... Honda took care of someone else's engines. I don't remember who it was, but, like, they also had shit going on. Like, Honda was just horrible.
Yeah, but McLaren has
Regardless
so many
of-
problems that, like, it's hard to base an entire success or failure of the Honda engine completely, in my opinion, on Honda. Like, if you're having every single incident with McLaren being just like the engine's going, then yeah, I get it. And maybe that was the case and I'm just misinformed. But like, if it had to do with other mechanical failures that are in cognition with McLaren's team's problems, like you're Daniel Ricciardo, you're whoever, like you have to realize that it might not have just been Honda. And at the end of the
It
day,
was
at least
definitely
Honda's
Honda.
working with Red Bull in cognition with them rather than just scooping a Renault engine and like I don't know, like
That's why Christian Horner went for the Honda engine, but like the Honda engine was in McLaren, and yes, McLaren does have a lot of issues of how they work their things together, which is a whole fucking disaster all of its own. But they also, like, Toro Rosso had like the Honda engine for a year before like Red Bull actually picked it up, and it was still unreliable as fuck. Like, McLaren still outperformed them every time, and their car was shitty as fuck for the past 2 years.
yeah, but you're also, I don't know, Toro Rosso also is a different mixed bag in terms of the level of investment that's being made on that team. It's an unequal playing field that you're judging equally. So
True.
I don't know, like for me, I have a hard time thinking that even if I'm Daniel Ricciardo, even if you make that move, like you are prioritizing dollar bills and being the number one over being in the better car. Because what you're saying is you have
number
no
one is
faith
very
in your Red
important
Bull
in that
team to
Dude,
work
even-
with the Honda engine.
Even
But the
Hulkenberg is
Formula
driving
One-
better than him lately. Like Hulkenberg
Yeah,
is
dude.
getting better results. But even
Oh,
though
at
like
first
the
he was a
last
really good driver.
Nico is talented and
Yeah,
deserves a
yeah.
better car.
Hulkenberg is a great
Yeah.
yeah, but the
But
last
I guess-
two races, like the car just fucking shit the bed.
Oh yeah, didn't they both like go off?
Yeah, both of them-
within, like,
both of them
on
went-
the same turn.
Both of them had engine problems. Both.
On the same turn, they both
Yes.
just went within 30 seconds of each other.
Yeah.
But being the number one driver in Formula One really, really fucking matters, because like all the good upgrades, if they're like they'll basically try shit out on the other car.
And I don't know, my other thing too is like you go to a team like Renault, where Nico, since we were talking about him, he's your number two essentially at that team. I'm more threatened by Nico than in a lot of other places I could have landed. So if it was just about being number one and just about the dollars, and you didn't really care about where you finished, which is what you're saying by going into a team like Renault. I don't care if I finish 8 all the time. Why would you not just go and try to make more money at a different team where you don't have someone like Nico who could potentially be breathing down your neck and people asking questions like, is Daniel Ricciardo as talented? Is he even the number one at Renault?
No.
Like, why would you...
Renault's the only team he could have. Renault is as low as he could have gone, because once you go past that, the only actual constructor that you could even consider going to is McLaren, and they don't do well at the moment. Everyone else is a very unreliable team.
But what I'm
Haas is,
saying
like, a
is
very
if
mixed bag.
he's not winning...
Dude, Haas
and
is
he's
doing
not winning
better. Haas is
He's
doing
not winning
better.
he's not
having
winning a
an awful
championship with
year.
Renault though. He's not winning a championship with Renault. So if you already know you're not winning a championship, you already know that. Why would you not consider going to another builder?
Like who?
Anyone.
There's no one else
But-
that he could have gone to that made more sense.
Exactly. Like
he
McLaren,
couldn't
like
have gone
Mercedes. Mercedes is not going to happen. Ferrari's
No,
not
I'm
going to
not
happen
talking
either.
up. I'm talking down.
There's no one else that could go down where they can pay him the money he wanted.
McLaren.
Why would they do that? They're developing their car and they want to save on, like, they don't need to pay $30 million to a driver. Like, they don't need a phenomenal driver.
I could see McLaren making that decision, even though what you're saying is more intelligent. I could still see them scooping Daniel Ricciardo, and so that's why I say that, because they're so dumb.
They do a lot with marketing. They would actually love to have
exactly.
marketing perspective.
You know your approach is great, but you know it's only happened because McLaren's basically been forced in that corner, and then they're justifying it like, oh, this is the bet, and it probably is the right move, but you're also using your fandom to justify it as well. So like, it's a double whammy.
Yeah, McLaren is like the one team that I've been like the fan of for like the longest. Like I'm gonna be very protective of them.
Dude, McLaren
all I can say is I follow where Kimmy goes.
McLaren just makes amazing. McLaren makes amazing road cars, but they're making a shitty Formula 1 car.
Which is what blows my fucking
mind. I know.
Like, you are producing some of the best like consumer level cars in the world.
I know.
Of all time. And a lot of them at that. Like, every 6 months they come out with something phenomenal.
Yeah.
And then you can't fucking put a car to a track?
They're like,
just because you have limitations and regulations you have to follow?
And then can't perform at, like, just suck at performing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it might be regulations. Like,
it's not. I don't know. There's enough people out there doing really well with a lot less money.
Yeah,
I just don't
you
know.
can't make an excuse for their incompetence. If you compare them and Haas, you're immediately just like, oh my god.
Haas more or less just copied the Ferrari car. I don't know what you're talking about. Haas is like the sleaziest team on there.
Dude, Haas is just
what Haas is doing
efficient,
really good.
Yeah,
they're like the sweatiest, like scrappiest.
They are
team
David
on
Luiz in FIFA 13, like just completely imbalanced, like
they're
broken.
Like the scrappiest fucking team, and they do phenomenal, and I love
exactly,
them. Like,
exactly.
So cool.
Dude.
I love it.
At this point,
dude,
at this point, you think they're a German team, but they're not. They're a fucking American team.
An American team with no money, run by this like very angry German like
I love
manager.
that man.
Wait, is he German or where is he from? I can't tell where that accent is from.
I think he's like Dutch or German or Belgian.
He sounds like he's from Hungary or something. Like Hungarian.
He does kind of sound like he's Hungarian a little bit. Yeah.
I want to figure out who he is because like he's
and also like I don't know, and I'm not saying this for any other reason than it's hard to understand where he's from because of it, but like he also might have a speech impediment or something going on because it's hard to gauge his region, and I feel like I'm usually better at that. Because like a German, he can't be German.
His name's Gunther, dude.
His name's Gunther?
Yeah, Gunther Steiner.
He's German?
Like
he's super German?
Super German.
Gunther Steiner, he's Italian.
What? That's not an Italian accent. That is not an Italian accent.
That's the last I would have guessed.
South Tyrol. If that's not like the most...
Okay.
No way he's Italian,
dude. Northern part.
Yeah, so
he's basically German.
He's from an area in Italy that is more Swiss and German than anything else.
Yeah.
Where is he from specifically?
Moran?
Murano?
Yeah, Murano.
Yeah. That is legitimately like
German.
It's yeah. I mean, that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand. It's a huge thing that people don't understand in the States. I was talking to my uncle about this, who's a history professor, over the last weekend. Like, these countries, they still aren't, and they really, really weren't countries. Like, Italy is a collection of a bunch of provinces that they glued together during the 1800s at like unification movements. Like, Germany and Italy are 100 years younger countries than the United States. Like, these people in northern Italy, some of them, a lot of the people I know who live in the northwestern corner of Italy, they speak French, like really good French too. Like,
but that's like where you go to Switzerland. It's the same too. But then if you go if you go to Spain though, like in Barcelona, I thought, for example, like Spanish and Catalonian is the same thing. It's just a different dialect.
Oh, no, dude.
But it's a completely different language. You don't even understand.
Yeah,
if you speak Spanish, you don't fucking understand Catalonian. Like, we met some Puerto Ricans, and they were like making fun of Catalonians because they're like, we don't know what the fuck they're saying. All we hear is like.
Yeah, it's weird too.
Yeah,
because the soft. Because really, the thing is, borders in Europe are just bullshit.
They're so arbitrary.
They're more bullshit than any other place outside of maybe India-Pakistan border. Like I would say that because that's a whole other bag of tricks.
You're gonna piss off a lot of people with that.
I know.
Border is
I mean, historically, it was just a line drawn by the British, though, so they're wrong. They can suck it up.
But the European borders are more self-inflicted than like the India-Pakistan.
Right,
border.
but what I'm getting at more is like when you live in like Murano kind of area of Italy, like Bozen kind of province, like north of Venice, like that borders Austria, but we consider those Italians more German because we consider those Austrians in that strip so German because that's really close to Liechtenstein as well, and so it's kind of near Switzerland as well. But to your point, Clay, like you live in Bern, you live in Zurich, like you speak like that's why Roger Federer speaks 5 languages completely fluently. Because
I hate Europeans for that reason. Like you look through their LinkedIn.
We were just talking
Dude,
about
they all speak like at least 5 languages. Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
It's ridiculous. Like I kind of wish I was born in Europe just for that.
Yeah,
I wish I could.
But the
speak
crazy
that many
thing is,
languages.
it's where you're born in Europe, though. So, like for example, like if you live in Naples, you're like Neapolitan Italian. Like, there's no way you're probably speaking more than maybe Italian and English.
No, you're.
But if
you're,
you live
you're,
in Milan,
you're barely gonna even speak
Right.
English at that point. Like shitty English.
Right, but if you live in Milan, you know you're close to France, you're close to Switzerland, you're close to Austria. Like
You're gonna speak multiple
probably
languages.
Yeah, absolutely. And the same thing goes for France. Like you live more towards like a Lyon, a Paris, or more central France, even like Nantes or like Lens kind of area. Like you're gonna speak a lot more French. Where the closer and closer you slip towards like Marseille, Toulouse, Monaco, like you're getting more Italian or Spanish. Well, actually, in that case, Catalonian if you're in Toulouse. Like influence in a lot of these voices. So like. For example, my father is from Calabria, which is basically the laces of the boot of Italy. They're like him and someone communicating from Turin, like that would be hysterical. Like the dialects are not close almost at all. Like they're completely different in a lot of cases.
It's like me speaking in Arabic and Abdul speaking in his native Arabic. Like it's fucking completely different. Like
it's wild.
It is. It's completely.
And that's not absorbed by so much of the U.S. is that like we have dialect differences inside of the states in English, but they're not dialects. They're accent kind of.
It's more of an accent than a dialect.
And linguistic.
All the words are still the same. All the rules are still.
Yeah, and there's linguistics. I mean, there's different words to an extent. Like there's certain words that are used down there that aren't used here, but it's so few and far
like
between.
the dialect differences in the U.S., for example, are not like the dialect differences in like England.
So this is the crazy thing, right? The U.S. has really no language barrier when it comes to the states. Like if you speak English, you can pretty much go anywhere in the United States and be 1,000% fine. Yet in some of these other countries,
sorry for a
right,
different way.
Right.
Yeah.
Yet in some of these other countries throughout the world, like if you live in Munich versus living in Hamburg, like basically north and south of Germany. Or the Italian example, maybe you're Siciliani, you're on Sicily, and you're trying to talk to somebody in Venice, north-south again. Like, they have a language barrier inside their country, and yet they figured out a way to unify better than we have for a lot of things. Like, that's insane to me.
They have different religions, different.
I mean, they're not
languages,
unified by any means. Let's not absolve Europe of the ludicrous amount of things that happen there. But we politically and we are more divided than they are, and yet they have more reason to be.
They have less in common.
It's unbelievable.
They have a lot less in common.
Completely unbelievable. There's a different level of empathy in Europe, though. We're not going to go down this rabbit hole.
No.
Anyway.
Yeah, I've pretty much resigned myself from figuring out politics since watching the Black Klansman yesterday.
Oh my gosh, that was a great movie. But Khalid, you seen the Black Klansman?
No, what is that?
It's like first of all, I liked the I don't want to call it Art Deco-y theme of the movie, but it kind of had this
the
70s,
colors of it.
Yeah,
No, I definitely.
It's a movie about an undercover cop in this
Colorado Springs.
Yeah, in Colorado Springs, in a time where you weren't a black cop basically, and he basically went undercover for the whole movie and is trying to sort out things with the KKK. And there's some comedic moments in it that are phenomenal, but it's also kind of badass. It's
extremely heavy, really fucking good, really fucking well done.
But it also, it does a lot of the highlighting of the social issues in the U.S. kind of thing, at the end and kind of throughout to an extent.
Why does this sound like a Quentin Tarantino movie?
It feels
without the gore, kind of with that comic touch, but without any of the gore.
And it's not as amplified of a comic touch. like there are like opening scenes and closing scenes. You feel like there's a little bit of like interplay with that kind of arty kind of theme that I don't want to call it like comic-y, Art Deco-y kind of mix of theme, but like the middle portions, the main meat of the scenes is regular, like basic kind of cop movie cinematography. So it ties together like in a way that you sink in, but it never like it pushes you through like scenes really nicely. I don't know. It was interesting.
Have you guys watched the new Avengers yet?
No, I gotta see it. We gotta see Captain Marvel first. That's the problem.
That's true. I'm skipping that.
I'm trying to go Monday for that. Have you seen it? Is it good?
No, I haven't seen it. We were supposed to go yesterday, but didn't go. I might go tomorrow with my sister and watch it.
Dodging spoilers like a freaking.
They're doing so fucking well with keeping them grounded, though.
I know.
Like, I've never seen this much effort from a group of people to keep spoilers out of the regular flow of internet.
But
I know,
also,
but like,
I feel like we're looking through the Reddit lens of this a little bit.
Not even Reddit lens. I've been seeing it. Yes, true. Reddit has done a phenomenal job with that being like spoilers only, and like they've done a really good job.
LaShawn McCoy just tweeted out a huge thing yesterday.
Yeah, but LaShawn McCoy is a douchebag. He plays for the Bills.
Okay,
like, fuck that guy.
Wow, just going off on somebody who does good in the local community.
No, but like Reddit was awful with Game of Thrones.
He donates a decent amount of money in Buffalo.
Yo, but like Reddit was awful with Game of Thrones because I was traveling. I didn't get to see episode 2 on time, and like I see all these spoilers about Arya fucking. You know, I don't want to spoil it right now. Spoiler alert! But like Arya fucks fucking the blacksmith.
Which also like the outrage over that versus the fact that like there are literal like underage sex and rape scenes in that show, or at least
I know.
And like people blow up about like probably the most like consensual sex scene we've seen in Game of Thrones. It's like calm down, everyone.
It's ridiculous.
That is very fair.
They're also invested into her life. Like calm down.
I think it's because
it's really fucking odd because like. I saw a picture of like season 1 shooting, and she was like 12. Like she was a child.
Yeah.
So like I guess like people just like saw her as a fucking child for years, and then suddenly oh fuck, like she's actually like 22 now. And
she's an adult.
18, and like the storyline, and people are like oh fuck, wait, like I haven't come to terms with it yet.
Right.
So it is a little jarring.
Yeah.
Like I definitely get it, because like we did expect like all of like the very, very violent scenes from Game of Thrones being Game of Thrones, but it's just like that was extremely jarring for some people.
Which is still funny.
It is.
Me, but regardless.
It is. My favorite reaction to it completely was Sophie Turner on her Instagram, because she was like...
Oh, imagine you're... Yeah.
Yeah, like Sophie Turner was like on her Instagram story, and she was like, oh, like for Easter, they decided to hop into that pussy. And then she's like, oh, that's the tea, and just chugs a glass of wine.
That's hilarious.
So that's pretty much the only valid reaction to that whole scene,
funny.
To be honest.
That's really funny.
So who do you guys have on the list that is going to die? Who do you think is going to die?
Everyone on my bracket so far is alive, but that's also because no one has died yet, and I am not looking forward to Sunday.
Tomorrow's episode, people are going to die.
Yeah, tomorrow a lot of people are going to die.
Yeah.
Sunday's going to be a rough day. I'm opening my bracket right now to see, but I honestly fucked up and didn't kill off enough people.
Dude, I think Arya's going to die. I think Sansa's going to die. I think Daenerys is going to die.
I have Arya living.
Arya's going to go down in flames if she dies. Like, I just want to see her kill so many things.
Death.
Is she going to steal the face of like of a White Walker?
No.
She
No.
can steal the face of a White Walker.
You know what's funny is like I haven't done any of the predictions for this, and I think the rationale for it is just like I have no idea, and I don't even want to begin to try to like create a position on this. Like I just want to see it happen.
I know. I was telling my friend yesterday
with the listing.
Dude, I was telling my friend yesterday, like she has a lot of theories about this, and I'm like, you know what? I don't want to have any theories. I don't want to read into it. I just want to enjoy the show with a clear mind,
Right.
Because it's gonna spoil it for me.
Exactly. I don't know. Like this for me is kind of like if somebody had told me what happened in Lord of the Rings before I like read the book or watched the movie. Like I don't even want to begin to guess what's going to happen because there's been so many moving parts that I'd rather just experience it than kind of pretend I understand where it's going.
Yeah.
Well,
like I really don't
Lord
like
of
the fan
Rings, They get
theories.
on an eagle and just go to Sauron. Just go to the Eye of Sauron.
Well, there's so much
That's
arbitrariness in this like fantasy genre that, you know, like who, like the whole ice dragon thing. right? Like, there's so much arbitrary, like, fantasy nonsense that happens in a lot of these shows that drives the plot line that, like, guessing what's going to happen is tough. Like, look at the Blackwater scene with the wildfire.
Yeah. Yeah, and, like, there's way too many moving parts, and, like, there's been, like, actual, what's it called, poli-sci professors that went out and, like, wrote articles about this, being like, oh, this is what we think is going to happen based on, like, a poli-sci perspective, blah, 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 blah. So, like, it's just, you're never going to figure out what's going to happen. They're going to try and fuck with you regardless of what happens over the next, like, couple weeks.
What if it's really bad, guys? Like, what if it's not good?
What if everyone dies and everyone becomes a White Walker?
No,
and
no,
they all
no, no,
escape
like,
to,
that to me would be some sort of poetic justice. Because most of them are pieces of shit in one way or another. But...
Except Jon Snow. Except Jon Snow.
Yeah, Jon Snow's pretty good. Jon Snow's pretty clean. I would also say
he's
that...
very pure.
Davos is relatively clean of a character.
The thief?
He once was. But he's a changed man.
But yeah. Redemption.
He's a pirate.
Hashtag
Right, yeah,
redemption.
yeah.
Hashtag redemption.
Hashtag redemption.
That's his redemption.
But there's and maybe I don't know, like even like there's a few characters, like I think Brienne is relatively absolved of most things.
Dude, I love
Gendry.
What's the fucking ginger?
Ceiling.
The ginger wildling.
Oh, the wild
Mormont.
guy.
Mormont. I fucking love that guy. Dude, I love the fact that
No, Mormont is the old dude who got grayscale and was like friends with Daenerys.
Oh, then who is
the wild Tormund.
Something.
Something like
the guy he was hilarious in the last episode.
I love the fact that he just brought a jug of fucking Giant's milk and drank it in front of everybody.
The Giant's milk scene was the best. The memes that went about that, it was like no one.
Yeah,
no
but
that
episode was the most uneventful episode. That I could have written that episode in 6 sentences.
But it was so good though. It was so good. It was just catching up on everything.
The comic relief was on point.
Yeah, the comic relief on that episode was really good. I was laughing my ass off.
Yeah, it was funny.
And the idea is now, like, you have like a calm episode where we like come back, meet everyone again, they resolve a lot of shit, and now we're more emotionally attached to them before half of them die tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. They haven't hammered through the show like a lot of shows hammer through shows.
But
a lot of shows push you through them.
They have like really good writing for this show, dude.
Yeah.
They try to pace it and like build it up for like the episode that's gonna come, like 2 or 3 episodes after, and that episode is gonna be the one that's gonna blow your mind off.
Their episodes are also getting significantly longer as we move along the season.
As it should, you know.
Isn't it just gonna be like 6 episodes?
Yeah, it's gonna be.
That's really short.
I think it's
for 8. A season. Oh, 8 episodes. It's still like short compared to the previous ones. It was like 13 episodes before. Longer.
I think like the finale is like 2 hours or something.
That's a movie, dude. That's a fucking movie.
Yeah, no, like I will never rewatch Game of Thrones just because of how much fucking.
It's so much content.
Dude, I can't believe Veronica and I just fucking binge watched 5 seasons in 2 weeks. Somehow we did that. I don't know how.
Jesus,
it was intense. It was intense.
How much catch up? That's a great. You know what? That's a great like icebreaker question. Is how many seasons of Game of Thrones did you have to catch up on? Like, did you start it OG day 1? Or, like, how many seasons? Because I only needed to catch up, I believe, a season and a half, maybe 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Because I started this college.
We had to, like, start when season 5 was just starting. So we had to catch up so we can watch season 5 with everybody else.
Seasons.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I lied. It's actually 80 minutes, apparently.
80.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still close. Hour and a half. Like a little under an hour and a half.
That's long.
Wait,
did they announce how long the episodes are going to be?
Yeah, it's going to be 6 episodes. I lied, not 8.
There's also not a lot of fat. You know what I mean?
Hour and a half.
There's probably 3 to 4 minutes on the front end and 3 to 4 minutes on the back end of that's like credit scene. So like you're really looking at 70 minutes of straight content. That's a decent chunk.
Yeah, the first 2 episodes are like under an hour, and then the last 4 are at least 18 minutes.
So tomorrow's
18 minutes.
So tomorrow's episode is gonna be long.
Yeah, it's gonna be long, and it's gonna be fucking insane.
Yeah, tomorrow's gonna be. They built it up so hard.
Yeah, especially with the jump in time and the fact that the 2 first episodes literally nothing happened.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a little bad. We need to get snacks for that. We need to plan accordingly.
I'm fine with that. I'm trying to be pretty healthy today because I have to go shopping tomorrow, and I don't want to feel like gross.
You just said we're going to get food today.
Yeah, but I'm building that into my schedule.
Okay. Indian?
I don't know. Khalid, what should we eat for dinner tonight?
I don't know. What are you guys into?
I don't know. So we have this thing where like literally every time we see somewhere, and it usually revolves around, I would say, mostly like African, Middle Eastern, and Asian cuisine, including India, kind of
Why
whole.
fuck with Ethiopian?
Right. Well, this is the thing. Like, so we have. Well, this is a bad example because it's literally the only region that I didn't name. But there's like a Puerto Rican place on our street called La Cueva that looks unreal. Like it's just a piece of garbage little shack, but I'm sure it's. I mean, sorry. My apologies to La Cueva if you're listening. But
Shout out to
it's
La
a whole-
Cueva.
It's a hole in the wall kind of place, but like every review you've ever heard of it is like this place is a banger. Like just Markel Schultz level releasing bangers every time. Like it. That's like and so we see all these places, and some of them aren't even necessarily close to where we live. But we see all these places, and we're like,
Buffalo's all of a 20
But those are the places that you should go to everywhere in
but
the
that's
world.
what we say. We're always
Everywhere
like,
in
we
the
gotta
world.
go there, and we never do. So I'm like, you know what? We need to do this at some point in time.
You guys
But
are fucking
The
up,
thing about
dude.
me and Abdul is we've never had money at the same time. Never. It's never been like we had a 3-month stint, probably a little longer than that. It's called 6 months where we both had like real money. We've been poor together multiple times, but never had money. So like it's trying to like I don't know. We suck at it. So like today we got to start breaking that mold and start getting out to some of these places.
But
I think
all
what
of these
happened
holes
is
in the walls are super fucking cheap anyway,
when you had a real deadline going on in life, we were like, okay, we got to get on this shit because there's only a certain amount of time to make this happen. And as things have progressed, there's just been a lack of necessity-based desire to do these things, you know?
Yeah, the drive definitely did die down a little
But
bit.
we-
when I
yeah,
was like,
I-
oh yeah, guys, I'm actually
We got to
gonna
get
eat
on
Buffalo
that. But is it Indian or like what do we want? I mean, Ethiopian would be good today, but
You've never been to the West Side Bazaar. We can go to the West Side Bazaar and get
we
bubble
probably
tea.
should just go to the West Side Bazaar.
But
Get
West
some
Side Bazaar
Spanish
and bubble
food.
tea.
Get some paellas and some empanadas, some tapas.
See, I feel like Spanish food's more accessible to us. Like I want,
What?
and this is the other thing too. Like, and this is selfish of me a little bit, but like, I want someone like you guys to drive me through my Middle Eastern food process. Like, I want to know exactly, and it's not because I'm picky at all. Like, I literally have 3 foods I've ever eaten in my life that I wouldn't probably eat again. Chicken feet is one, because it tastes like what it's walking on. Certain forms of tripe I wouldn't eat again. And
What is a tripe?
Is it just like the way it's cooked?
Yeah, it wasn't cooked. It wasn't prepared well.
What's a tripe?
Stomach, intestine, usually
Ugh.
stomach mostly. But and then the third one is I can't do chicken liver. I can't. It's just too. The consistency, the richness of it, it has to be prepared perfectly for me to want it. But
That's fair.
But what I'm saying is like having someone like you guys who have literally grown up in the culture of this food to be like, this is what you want. This is like that is like an indispensable resource. Like having that when I was in Korea and understanding like for Europe isn't a hard time for me because I understand most of the food culture there because my family's from there. But like Middle East, Asia, Africa, like I'm clueless. I'm like an infant. Like I want someone to be like, this is what you'll want, or at least guide me. Cause like I don't think I would make a bad food decision, and I'm not picky. But having someone be like, this is where I would start. Like for Asian food, like this is your dim sum. Like this is what you want mostly. Like this is your Korean barbecue. This is your you
should Abdul. You should take him to Persian place. Because they have the
I
best
don't think we
fucking
have
barbecue
Persian
ever.
food, dude. If
Oh, that
I could
sounds awesome.
possibly get Persian grilled food, my quality of life will go so fucking high. The things I would do for some grilled meat and Persian rice right now are, like, I will literally do anything.
Persian
Dude.
food, Buffalo, New York. There's 2.
Oh, there's a shot on our bus in
Dude,
Toronto.
there's one
I should've
on
said
our
No
street.
way.
Persian?
No way.
there isn't.
Shish Kebab Express.
Oh, it's...
What about Baba's place?
What's Baba's place?
I don't know. I'm looking.
Dude, do you guys have a Mendy place?
Yeah, no, that I literally had that on my search right now. I was gonna go get Mendy.
It says it's
Yeah,
Mediterranean.
Go take him to a Mendy place, or Dude, if you can find camel meat anywhere, that'll be like almost impossible. But if you can find camel meat, you should go eat camel meat because that's delicious.
I would be down.
Yeah, so Alex knows this, but I fucking hate when I get into an Uber and I end up with an Arab driver.
Yeah.
I absolutely fucking hate it when they're like, "Oh, your name is Abdul. What's it short for? Is it Abdullah? Is it Abdurrahman? Is it Abdurrahim? Is it?" And they just go through the fucking list. It's like a laundry list of like what names it could possibly be. It's like, yo, I am not trying to make conversation. I'm not trying to be your friend. You're not gonna sit here for 10 minutes asking me where I'm from, why I'm in the U.S., like what I'm doing. Like this is literally what they do, and I just fucking hate it.
Oh, see, I love my conversations with Uber drivers. I love them.
I usually do, but I just really do not like the nosiness of some of the Arab drivers when they realize you're also Arab.
See, and the other thing, okay.
They love it, though. It's weird. They love it. They love it. And it's sometimes it's uncomfortable for me because they're so into it and I'm not. Just fucking leave me be, man.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's exactly
I've never had this culture-to-culture clash with me.
I think we have a problem with our own culture, and we react like in that way towards it because we're just sick and tired of it.
That's 100% what's happening. Like that's the question.
The conservative Arabic culture is also not one I like to associate with because I just do not want to be part of it.
But everyone has that shit. The white middle class, upper middle class, suburban Italian racist ass culture that I'm a part of technically. Like everyone's distancing themselves from something that they're originating from. Yours is
the fundamentalism of like.
No. I understand yours.
You
win. It's not a competition. But what I'm saying is that
fucking this is oppression Olympics right here.
Yeah, this is a consistent theme for everyone. Your guys is more driven based on like you said, the fundamentalism. Like there is a lot of. But think about the people who are doing equally shitty things in the world, and my demographic is contributing to probably more of it.
They've had the platform. If Arabs, I warn you now, if Arabs ever have the platform that white people did,
that my demographic does, right?
Bro,
We'd be a problem.
Just probably more fucked.
Dude, just look at Saudi Arabia. Full stop. I don't have to even fucking talk about this.
Yeah, Saudi Arabia just executed like 50 people like 2 days ago. Like,
dude, no.
Mass executed.
Not just that. Look at what they've fucking done to Yemen. The Yemen used to be a prosperous fucking country, and now they're in the shitter. They're nothing.
But look at it this way, right? They did that to Yemen. The U.S. has broken that record so many times. The U.S. has gone platinum in doing that to countries.
Okay. Let's put it this way. The U.S., you can talk about these things and not be prosecuted. Saudi Arabia, you can't talk about most of the shit they do. And no one knows what the fuck they do.
That's the exact thing we're talking about. Like, so, to an extent, and you just highlighted it perfectly, like, you guys have more of a fundamentalist, and I would call it, like, it's like, dense. It's, intense. That's the way I would say, right? It's smaller scale, but it's thick, concentrated.
It's thick with 5 C's.
Right, and mine is more like it's a perfect representation with the U.S. versus Saudi Arabia. Like the U.S. has gone in and just fucked up so many countries that it's a laundry list, right? It's like ordering a salad somewhere and asking for all the dressing options. Like that's how many countries the U.S. has screwed up. It's like an Olive Garden salad dressing menu of countries that we fucked up, right? You guys haven't, not you guys, sorry, but Saudi Arabia rather has. Like, where you're coming from, to an extent, they've fucked up fewer, but in so much more of a fucked up way, to an extent. I don't know. That's like comparing apples and apples to an extent. I think the U.S. has just done what Saudi Arabia has done, just on a more mass scale. Like, Saudi Arabia is like the Formula 2 driver trying to get into the big leagues. And the U.S. has been the U.S. wrote the book, man. They're the Emerald Chef version of this bullshit.
That's the U.K., my friend. That's Britain.
Okay, yeah, OG kind of. Well, the Dutch too. The Dutch
have had a horrible history.
You guys, the Dutch, the English.
You can go back to the Romans, really.
And
the
Romans, yeah.
Okay, you know who wrote it? The fucking Mongolians, dude.
The Mongols.
Genghis Khan wiped out. Dude, Genghis Khan wiped out almost the whole planet. Genghis Khan also has descendants all over the fucking place. If you trace our DNAs, most of us probably have Genghis Khan DNA
the fact
in us.
that he wiped out a percentage of the population and raped so many people that there are descendants literally everywhere in the world.
That's probably the most likely correlation in my bloodline and your bloodline.
Yeah.
Southern Italian in the Middle East. It's probably, it's either the Holy Roman Empire, well, not the HRE, just the Roman Empire.
Yeah.
Or it's that, like 100%. But the most recent one would be that. I mean, just based on timeline, which is nuts.
Yeah. But in context of Saudi Arabia again, their military budget is larger than Russia's.
Like I say, they're trying to be the U.S. Like they are.
Large.
This is the sick thing.
More
Is that the sick
than
thing
Russia.
is that Saudi Arabia is literally like the more concentrated, fucked up version of the U.S. Like they're trying to do what the U.S. is doing, but based on their let's talk about the per capita, right? Their per capita fucked up is more fucked up, but it doesn't mean that they're not trying to do the exact same shit.
They have like 10 times less people.
Feed the war machine, though, bro. Feed the war machine. Like, unreal.
Yes, what's it called? I'm looking it up right now. Their spending in 2018 was 69 billion. Their spending right now is 82.
Oh my god.
They are $20 billion more than Russia.
Oh my god, that is...
That's a
Saudi
fuck up.
Arabia could be one of the most prosperous, elite places in the world for learning and education with the money and the wealth they've driven from their natural resources.
That also goes for
But
the
they're
US
not.
with the military spending.
Right,
on both
well,
counts.
true. But for Saudi Arabia, you have so much less of a population that everyone could have been, if it was distributed correctly.
Dude,
that could have
Saudi
been like this
Arabia-
alpha state. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Dude,
between
Saudi
that,
Arabia, like-
they have 1,500 royalty members that
Yeah.
get a salary for literally being born, and the fact that they spend.
Can you imagine the
Upwards of
180 though?
$80
Can you imagine
billion.
they were like
Dude.
artistically focused, educationally focused, and they were like this metropolis of just learning. Like they could easily do that.
But they're
But
not.
you know, but religion and politics and oh my god,
Power, my friend. Power.
sickening.
It's all about power.
Disgusting amounts of.
And on that note, it's time to end the podcast.
Wow, that was depressing though.
That's a pretty fucking dark mark to end on.
I know.
But
Do you guys have something positive to share instead?
Well, Jag's sitting on the chair, like across from us, so we're all at the table right now. He's managed to sneak his way into the circle.
Jag has no opinions on this. He's giving us his butt. So
Yeah.
that's how he feels about this.
Jag
I think
does
that's
not
how he
approve.
feels about this.
He does not approve of the socioeconomic or political state of the Middle East or the United States. Jag is a complicated beast. We could end on a real quick note that there's the race tomorrow morning.
Yeah, Formula One race tomorrow at Baku. Hopefully McLaren will do something positive. Hopefully no manholes will come up and destroy cars again.
All right, so who do you have winning the race?
We
Boys.
didn't do Formula Fantasy this year.
I know we didn't.
No,
So
we
who do you
haven't.
have-
Fortunate.
Who do you have in the one? Who do you have in the one? Or give me your podium.
I think Leclerc, Hamilton, but Valtteri.
Bottas?
Oh, Bottas.
Yeah.
Same. I'd say the same thing.
Yeah, I think the three of them. There's really
Yeah.
no other.
I have a
Dude,
hard time
Vettel's
disagreeing with this.
slowly like
What do we?
falling off.
Do you think Verstappen can make a podium if something happens though?
Nah, maybe.
I see him sneaking into the third for some reason. I see something going wrong with Leclerc. I don't see Ferrari going on the podium on this race.
Yeah, but Baku's a very, very fast track, and the Honda engine is still slightly behind the Ferrari and the Mercedes. The Ferrari is the fastest one.
Yeah.
So I definitely see Leclerc doing it. I see Sebastian possibly jumping in there, but like I don't think the Red Bull is going to be as competitive as you think it would be.
Yeah.
Because like they all literally have like low downforce.
Yeah, this is
spoilers.
like
It's a
last
very,
night.
very
At the
fast
end of the
engine.
day, you want the
A very
Clippers
fast
to
race.
win, but the Golden State Warriors are like Ferrari. Like
Golden State is probably Mercedes.
Yes, better comparison.
Yeah. All right.
The Ferrari engine is being sneaky,
And on-
but
on
anyways,
that
Yeah,
note,
yeah.
It's
On that
time-
more positive note,
yeah,
It's time to end the podcast. So, Alex, you got any social media stuff you want to plug in here?
oh yeah, I mean I'm like the worst person on social media ever, but you know if I can spread the news, brother, of this beautiful podcast that you guys have going. I'm on Insta. I think I'm like Alex_Scalzo for probably every social media tag besides Facebook because that doesn't exist that way. So hit me up and I'll be blasting this out for you guys
Cool.
because
Share the love.
world needs to
Share
know.
the love.
The world needs to know.
Share the love,
Share the
brothers.
love. Yeah.
One love.
Yeah, and
One
our
love.
Instagram and Twitter are Dos Browns, and Facebook is Two Browns Don't Make a Right.
Yeah.
And
Do you
this
wanna
was-
plug
But they do make a white.
Yeah, so this episode is called Two Browns Don't Make a White. And on that note, enjoy the rest of the week.
Yeah.
Deuces.
Thank you guys for tuning in. This has been Two Brands Don't Make a Right. And
Don't make a white.
peace.